What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. Filling in for your host, as always, it's Ron Klee. Shosan is out doing something. I think he's picking up some beer.
I heard he exposed himself on the mountain in Malaysia, and he's been arrested and put in jail.
Wait,
Wow.
what?
He caused the
He's probably in
earthquake.
a parking lot somewhere picking his nose.
No, that would be me falling off the mountain that would cause that.
Right. Speaking of mountains, say hi, Veg.
Fuck
Hi,
yourself.
Veg.
Veg with the best greetings ever. We have our Indian Gold Farmer
How's it going, guys? It's Brock.
and our Gold Goblin, who is at near cap.
I was trying to get there by the podcast tonight, but I wasn't able to quite get there.
What are you at?
I'll tell you in a little bit. I'm bringing it up right now.
All right. So, we might get Show, we might get Coles. We don't know. They haven't told us anything, so we'll find out at some point, I'm sure. But in the meantime, we're going to get started as we always do.
Oh, hold on. Go on.
That sound drives me insane, by the way.
We're going to start with our news. And, guys, how's your wallets doing?
Gabe, no, Gabe.
Gabe, please stop. No.
No!
As predicted, it is the Steam Summer Sale. They call this the Monster Summer Sale this time around. So,
What level are you guys?
I haven't been doing it.
Yeah.
But
It's just a Clicker Heroes thing. So you get into one game and you get a badge, and it just keeps going. You don't even have to do anything.
so something interesting that's been going on with this that they've been finding out is Rockstar updated their price on Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC to $84.97 before the sale, which discounted it to about $60.
They claim that there was like something else going on that oh no, sorry, that was something else. Something else left beta just before the sale, and so they went to a higher price. But Rockstar doesn't really have any excuse.
But
Yeah,
apparently they're not the only one doing it.
Yeah, the thing I saw with Rockstar, that what they did is, what they're claiming is they had a bundle with GTA 5 and $20 of in-game cash, $20 worth of in-game cash, but somehow accidentally just the stock GTA 5 went off the market somehow, mysteriously.
Mysteriously, quote
That's
unquote.
what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know how it happened. It just disappeared, you know. But hey, we've got our other bundle at the same price, and it's discounted. It's a sale. Go ahead and buy it.
Yeah. So Fez is like $2. If you guys haven't checked that out, please do so. That's a
Castle Crashers is also like $1.50.
Uh-huh. Like all kinds of crazy deals. I mean,
Borderlands franchise 1 and 2 for $5.
yes. If you haven't started your Game Collection Simulator 2015, now's the time to do so. They will be on sale until June 20th. So check that out.
Quick, while we're talking about it, here are the rules of the Steam sale for anybody who has not participated before. If your game is not on flash sale and it is not a daily deal, do not buy it. Or flash sales includes community choice or any kind of... If it is just whatever the regular 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% off, do not buy it. Wait for it to be a daily deal or a flash sale. And if it never becomes one of those, then buy it on the last day, because that will be the lowest price that it's going to be. Don't just look and say, hey, it's 40% off, I should buy it, because it will go lower almost certainly.
Yep.
There you go. GOG.com still got their sale going on, too.
Yep.
I'm not sure how long that's going on, but...
That one was able to pick up the Descent franchise last week for just a couple bucks. I want to say less than $10.
have you been playing it?
I haven't had the time. That's the bad part. Like it's just sitting there, and I installed them all, but this week has been nuts. I haven't had a chance to play it. I want to get back into a working copy of Descent again.
Sitting in the simulator.
It really is, especially with God Galaxy going on. I'm sitting there staring at a nice interface, and
Very nice. All right, so that's the summer sale. And then Witcher 3 apparently has been doing quite well.
Oh, yeah.
It's I mean, if you've never played any of the Witcher games, I've been talking about playing Witcher 2 some. It's very good in that it is not like if you play Mass Effect and there's a little conversation wheel, right? The one to the upper right is like the good one. The one in the middle is like the yeah, whatever. The one to the bottom is the evil one or the renegade
Punch
one.
everybody in the face.
Yeah, and then on the other side, sometimes there's some extra things you can say, or you get that extra renegade or extra paragon one if you have a high enough score. This is all kind of shades of gray. Like all of the responses you can make are just in a list, and they're pretty arbitrarily in the list. And sometimes you make decisions based on your discussion without kind of realizing that you're not going to be able to go back into the rest of the questioning. Like people get offended and get pissed and won't talk to you. Like there's a lot of the role playing is a lot less. No one's holding your hand. And then in 3, they've really brought that even further. There's a ton of decisions. There's a lot of side quests that tie into the main quest. It's not like go get me a chicken. You go get a chicken, but it turns out that like it lays golden eggs, and you can use those eggs to find out something as part of the main quest. Like there's all tied together.
I want a chicken sandwich.
No.
Tell your wife to go make you one.
Knowing her,
I wouldn't wish that on
into one.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst of enemies.
Right?
I found one of the interesting things with The Witcher 3 that it's doing so well also is that it's kind of bucking the trend of other recent high-profile games in that there's not different pre-order bonuses or whatnot depending on where you bought it. I mean, if you look at Mortal Kombat, depending on where you bought Mortal Kombat 10, you get a different pre-order bonus or whatnot. Witcher 3, it's no matter what, you get the whole game. There's no on-disc DLC or anything like that. I mean, you get everything there, which I think is fantastic. It's kind of bucking the system a little bit.
Very nice. So yeah, Witcher 3, definitely check that out. From release games to games that just come out of Kickstarter, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night closed with $5.5 million.
Jesus.
That's impressive. For those that don't know, this is a spiritual successor to, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, Koji Igarashi. I guess I did try, but it's a successor to Castlevania.
Kojiashi.
65,000 backers. Made it one of the most funded video game software projects on Kickstarter ever. I think it's like number 3.
And it's the 8th most funded project ever.
Yeah, so crowdfunding is still alive and well.
People love them from Castlevania.
Yeah. It's a good game. I wanted to get it, or I was going to fund it, but I was like, well, I can fund it and spend like $30 on the game, or I can wait a year for it to come out and be on Steam sale for $5. Because it's not like they need my funding. I mean,
right, 5.5 million is a lot. So, yeah, definitely, really cool. Moving on to some Nintendo news. Looks like that the Smash Brothers are getting some new characters.
Yay, DLC. Yay, money grab. Woo.
And I'm glad to see Roy. I played the crap out of Roy in Melee, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're adding Ryu.
Ryu from Street Fighter and Roy from Fire Emblem. These two will be getting added. I'm trying to see.
I'm just surprised they haven't had Roy in there since the beginning because he was in Smash.
He was in Melee.
They're not officially announced yet. It seems like that Nintendo's probably waiting for E3 to make the official announcement, but yeah, they've data mined this stuff out, so most likely this is what we're going to see at E3 this year. So.
Damn you, data miners! Damn you!
Oh, they're awesome, man. We get
I know.
Stuff.
They're like vultures, man. They'll pick everything apart.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, up next, and I guess, Dan, you can speak to this a little more. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is announced.
Yeah, it's people were talking about it being a sequel, and they've kind of come out, the producers come out and said it's not a sequel, and people are like, well, is it a prequel? And they said, well, not really that either. It's probably not a reboot. Maybe it's like happens at the same time, the same universe. They haven't really explained what it is, but there's going to be another Mirror's Edge game, which is good. I hope that they fix the problem. It was the same problem that Deus Ex Human Revolution had, in that you can play the game kind of however you want, right? You can play it non-violent, but then on boss fights you're basically forced into crappy gunfights that you're
and you're screwed.
Not prepared to do, and you're not good at, and your character's not good at. So hopefully they fix that. That was really one of the only things I didn't like about the game.
Yeah, and for those like me who don't know, let us know what this game's about. What's Mirror's Edge about?
Oh, you never saw Mirror's Edge at all?
It's essentially a first-person run amok. It's like if you could play Assassin's Creed in first person.
Yeah.
All right.
And so it's very interesting. Graphically, it's a good art direction too. It's like the game is very kind of white and gray and silver, but things that you're able to run on are like blue and red, and they kind of shift colors as you come to them. And like you see your hands running in front of you, and it's an interesting game. It's from a couple of years ago. Again, it'll probably be on the Steam sale for $5 or something if you want to get the first one.
Yeah, I picked it up not that long ago, on a giant bundle.
Very cool. All right. So up next, it looks like the Oculus Rift has announced a shipping. We won't say date because it's first quarter of 2016, but I mean, still we're looking at somewhere between 8 and 10 months for the first big VR to come out in quite some time. Very, very interesting stuff.
Pretty excited about the Oculus Rift. I've been seeing a lot of good things about it. I'm trying to get my hands on one of the units just to play with, and it looks pretty interesting. It looks like they've fixed a lot of the problems that earlier VR units had, especially with the latency of turning your head and the screen will track it a lot better than the units from the mid '90s whenever VR was the next big thing back then.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how the public picks up on it. I mean, definitely not going to be the only player in the market since with Project Morpheus on the PS4 and I guess Gear VR, if you want to call that a competitor. There's some competition there, but I think Oculus, they got John Carmack behind them, so not much you can do against that.
And of course, we've already been mentioning E3 a couple times. I'd expect to see something big out of E3 this year.
Oh yeah.
Considering this will be their last E3 before it's actually made commercially available. It's gonna be something else. No matter what you think of VR, definitely it's something to keep an eye on. So,
didn't they announce that they were also going to bring an Xbox One controller with it when you purchased it, or was that something?
That's what I was seeing. Like it's going to come with the wireless Xbox One controller with an adapter for it, along with they're having a proprietary controller as well that's going to allow for more natural hand movements in VR. But for gaming and stuff like that, they're going to have it run off the Xbox One controller, which is pretty cool. That means that it'll be a little easier for developers to port their stuff over, like existing console games, existing PC games over to it.
Awesome.
So.
All right. So this one, last time we brought this up, this got quite a bit of discussion. The World Video Game Hall of Fame has announced their inaugural inductees, and they got it down to a class of 6, and pretty much here they are. It's going to be Doom, Pac-Man, Pong, Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, and of course, World of Warcraft.
Of course.
First 6 to be inducted.
Should have been Miss Pac-Man. That's no, seriously, like
gender equality.
No, really. Listen, look at it this way. You go into places that have a lot of classic arcade games. Which one are they going to have? It's Pac-Man. It's going to be Mrs. Pac-Man.
That's true.
You hardly ever see any like original Pac-Man machines around. I see a crap ton of Miss Pac-Man machines whenever I'm looking for them.
Well, that's true, but before Miss Pac-Man even existed, Pac-Man was just such a huge craze. And it spawned so many different games. It spawned a cartoon series, all kinds of stuff.
Pac-Man the breakfast cereal.
Breakfast cereal.
Pac-Man the flamethrower.
Wait, there was a flamethrower?
Never mind.
Can we launch it at Pedge?
Have you not watched Spaceballs?
I have. It's been quite some time.
Well, you should go watch it again.
Perhaps I will. But there's your 6. I can't help but feel that Doom is a little out of place on that list.
I don't know. I mean, Doom kind of revolutionized the first-person shooter. I mean, arguably you could say it was Wolfenstein, but Doom really kind of took it to the next level. Instead of just the grid.
You can make all kinds of argument. Marathon was the first one. Mouse look. I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Anyway, there's the 6 inductees into the Strong's World Video Game Hall of Fame. Very cool. All right, we're going to move on to Blizzard news here, and this one, of course, has been something that's boiling in public debate for a couple of weeks now. They published a dev water cooler saying that they will be bringing flying to Draenor.
Yeah, but you have to literally fly through a loop to get it.
No, you don't. I mean, there's a meta achievement for it, which, yeah, I can see, because their whole reasoning behind not adding flying was, hey, you should experience all the content on the ground. But once you've done that, what's the point of keeping you on the ground?
Yeah, exactly.
So what they've done is basically put out a meta achievement that tries to make sure that you've done as much exploring on the ground as you can before they let you take to the skies. Now, a lot of these are things that you can start doing today. There's a Wowhead article, I believe, they published it like a few days ago.
They actually made a Wowhead tool that will tell you exactly what you need to do.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, just if you go to wowhead.com, you can check out that tool, and they will point you in the right direction as to what you need to do. Now, a lot of these things, like, for example, me and Kathy, we've already done a lot of the things from that, from what's needed that is available today. But for the Tanaan Jungle ones, apparently the longest rep grind, if you do everything daily, is 14 days to get to flying.
No.
So
that's yeah, and already knowing it's going to be a shit ton of dailies too.
Yeah, we'll see. If it's like say the Molten Front,
Ugh.
I think that'll be annoying. If it's something like Timeless Isle, it won't be too bad.
It'll still be annoying.
It'll be a little annoying, but
I mean, they should have done this from the get-go. Like, make us grind reps for not like easy grind reps throughout half the series before thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
They honestly didn't think this one through, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you have to get not just one, not just two, but 3 reps. You have to grind now."
Yeah, which kind of indicates you'll be doing something for each of those 3 every day. So
They could be like really close to each other, related or something. It might not. They might have made it.
I mean, we'll have to see. I mean,
easy.
we're speculating, but the point is that they have recognized that saying no flying that was a mistake, and they have definitely corrected it. And like I said, I mean, I think I said it last week. It seemed a lot like the Real ID thing, where they backpedaled on it, and it looks like they've done the same here.
Well,
So,
I would say backpedaling is
listening to their
like that's when we talked about this about something else a while ago. I don't remember what it was, but we have a bad habit as gamers of saying we don't like something, and then when they change it because of the criticism, we say, well, you only did it because we didn't like it, or oh, look, you're just trying to get our money. It's like, no, they listened to the criticism and they fixed the problem. So
exactly. Yeah,
we have to be careful. We praise them doing the right thing, even if sometimes we're not totally happy with exactly what they did. It's better than saying, no, this is the way we're doing it, and tough shit.
And I think we'll get more into this a little later on into the roundtable as well. So definitely keep that in the back of your head for now. Moving on to Hearthstone, they have announced the Tavern Brawl. And I can't help but liken this to Riot's different game modes they come out with every so often. It's like they're going to have a different game mode that certain buffs are active or something like that every week. Or was it every week, or was it like every 2 weeks? Let me read the article, I guess. But yeah, Tavern Brawl is... it's going to be the new option. Will be that 4th option on the main screen, and
will you be able to still?
The first one is going to be towards the end of June. Now you have to be level 20 to unlock it. You have to have a level 20 hero to unlock it, which I can't do it yet. My highest is like 17. But in my defense, they're all like around 17, so I've kind of been leveling them up pretty evenly.
Yeah,
So
you're
is
willing
this?
to switch over to 20?
Yeah, I'll probably just play like the Warlock for a couple of days, something
Yeah.
like that. So, go ahead, Mitch.
So, what was I gonna say? So, is it gonna be like? Is it still gonna be 1 versus 1 with random buffs, or is this gonna be like 2v2?
It's 1v1.
Okay.
And it also will have an entry cost, except during launch. During launch, you can try it out for free. And if you do participate in it, you'll get a free card pack when you win your first game of the week.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's always good to get the card packs. Those are pretty valuable.
Yeah.
So, will it count towards like your dailies and stuff like that, your daily quests as well?
I would
Since you are-
imagine since it's PvP.
All
the-
right.
Yeah, I would imagine it would, because it seems like everything except for practice counts for that.
That better.
The thing I haven't seen anywhere is what the cost is going to be. I've seen the real world cost, but no mention of how much in-game gold it would be.
They've mentioned it will be comparable to the arena.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. About
So
150.
That's what, 150? Yeah, 150 is not bad. But yeah, I mean, this is coming with, they've been announcing the alternate heroes, stuff like that. They're adding a feature where you can have a different card back for every deck, stuff like that. So they're adding some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had like 4 card backs until I looked at it the other day. I was like, how are you doing? I didn't even realize it until I unlocked my Here's the Storm one.
I've got a ton. I've got like 5 or 6 or something like that. And I got the last 2 monthly ones, and I'm working on getting this month. So I just gotta play. Last time I played, I did not get a win in 4 games, and I was like so frustrated. But it was because I was playing my Paladin deck. My Paladin deck's just junk. So that's what happens when you have the quest that says win 5 games as a Paladin. It's like, no, screw you.
Oh, I always get rid of the win 5. I'm like, I've got to win 3 extra games for 20 extra gold over what a win 2 would be. Nah, get rid of it.
Yeah, I wish. Can you do that?
Yeah, if you go on the quest screen, you can get rid of 1 quest a day.
Oh, I did not know that. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might do that. We'll see. So.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
For the ones that's win 5, it's not to me. It's not worth the extra effort of winning those extra 3 games to get 20 more gold.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's like you have the win 5 of, say, Priest Warlock, and then you have a win 3 of Warlock Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that sometimes.
Or
That's worse.
or if it's win 5 as a mage, I'm like, okay, go into arena and hope for the best.
Mage OP in arena.
Oh yeah, mages got like a 70% win rate in arena.
But you're not guaranteed to get the mage. It's a 1 in 3 shot.
No, it's just a 1 in 3 shot. But I mean, I've got a mage right now in there, and I've won all 3 games so far. I have yet to lose in it, and there's a site that I use that'll actually help you build a deck, and you put in what cards you have offered, and they'll tell you, okay, here, you should probably pick this one.
Yeah, I tried that the last time I played. I think I went 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Which isn't terrible. I mean, it's not 500. It's nowhere near my best. My best is 7.
Yeah, my best is around 6, and that was just kind of guessing. And I got 2 legendaries in that deck, which surprised the hell out of me. But the rest of the times I try to build my own deck in arena, it's just a complete fail. It's terrible.
All right. Let's move on to Heroes of the Storm. They had a event recently called what was it? The Mayhem Begins. And basically what this was a live broadcast where they gave a sneak preview for a number of new things, including the Battlefield of Eternity, which, by the way, looks amazing. It's if you get a chance to check this out, it's basically it's Diablo 3 style. If you take like the Gardens of Hope on one side and some of the demon rifts on the other side and put that together in a map, that's pretty much what the Battlefield of Eternity looks like. It looks pretty awesome. So this is the next map coming to Heroes of the Storm. They're also adding the Butcher as a playable character from the Act 1 boss from Diablo 3.
Nice.
And then I thought I saw something else here. I guess I didn't. But yeah, so looks like they're adding some game-specific content, because I don't think are any of the other maps custom tailored to a specific game.
Yeah.
Which one?
A couple of them actually. Some of them are for WoW. A couple are for Diablo, obviously. There hasn't been any StarCraft maps yet.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't really noticed that anything looks like a particular game. This looks like Diablo.
Well, the one for the
Got an Awakened kid. I'll be right
desert the desert one looks like something out of WoW. So does the pirate one.
I guess the desert one would work because that would be like Oldham. I don't know if that's what that is though.
Yeah.
But and Veg
Right,
went
that's the
muted.
Crypt. And then they had the Crypt that just came out not that long ago.
Your favorite map in all of the Heroes of the Storm
Ah, they had to be spiders.
had to be spiders. Yes, so I think that does it for Blizzard news.
Yeah.
Dan, what you drinking?
I've got a dark and stormy, which is ginger beer with dark rum on it.
But it's not Scotch. All right,
No,
so that
t-
would have blown
Not
joke
Scotch
out
tonight.
over anyway. Because
Yeah, well-
if you had Scotch and Show was here, Brock says bourbon tonight.
Uh-huh.
So we would have had one bourbon, one Scotch, and one beer.
Gotcha.
But unfortunately, that's not the way it worked out. All right.
Oh, well.
So, patch 5.11 got released in League of Legends this week. Just a lot of balance changes for the most part. Nothing terribly interesting in here.
Nerfing the crap out of something.
Out of something.
Yeah, that something is called Echo. Holy
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen Echo played because he's been banned every game.
crap. Yeah, there's a reason for that, though.
There was one game he didn't get banned, and that was because nobody on either side had him. So-
I had him, it's just I didn't want to play him.
So Echo, yeah, he's getting nerfed to the ground. Touching quickly on the fantasy LCS, Veg and Show are dominating this week, absolutely dominant. And what's worse is, Veg, you're up on me by 60, but but I have 2 additional matches that you don't have, so I have a chance at a comeback. Show is up on Coles by 60, but he has one more match than Coles does. Coles ain't coming back from that. He's done
No.
this week.
Which is surprising because Cole's been whipping all our asses so far.
Yeah, I know. But with
That's
Cloud9
because I got
getting leads
Hoonie.
and, yeah. I mean, Expeke didn't do a whole lot. The Origins lost this week. Origins got upset this week. Moving on to the EU LCS, they got beat by Roccat.
Well, that's what happens when you name your team after a horrible EA game or system.
It's
makes
not.
it sound-
It's not even spelled the same way.
It sounds the same.
It
Just
sounds
close,
the same. But it's not even spelled the same way.
Close enough to me.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, so that was the upset in the EU LCS. Fnatic is still 6-0. They're undefeated. They haven't been beaten yet.
Good God, that's scary.
I mean, they're freaking good, man. I didn't see where Unicorns of Love was, but it wasn't close to the top.
No, that's
Remember
not.
that. It's SK Gaming that's 0-6, and second place is shared by H2K. I hate those guys, and Origin. Although I love Prawley. Is Prawley still the coach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Prawley. So
I need to get rid of Kickus. He's like the weak man on my team right now.
yeah. And then how about the upsets this week?
I haven't actually gotten to watch too many of them today.
Team Dignitas upsets Team Solo Mid.
Dignitas.
Dignitas.
What?
The 5-1 or the 4-1 Team Dignitas tied
Jeez.
for first place with CLG and Team Liquid. How about that? Who would have seen Dignitas coming out, rising pretty much from the ashes? I mean, they pretty much got the same team as they did in the spring split, with the exception of they settled on Zingy, and they're just
Zingy.
tearing it up. 4-1, that's pretty good. And then, like I said, Cloud9 lost again, so they're
Yeah, I
hurting.
saw that. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with them. They don't look like they've been doing too well. Period.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet they're still having an adjustment period with Incarnation, because I mean they got 4 out of the five players. But the problem is that High served as a shot caller,
Right.
and now he's gone, and they're trying to fill that role. And I think, if I remember right, they were saying Lemon Nation was the one trying to fill that role. So I have no idea
Do you know who needs to fill that role?
who.
Lemon Nation's Notebook.
Lemon Nation's Notebook would fill that role very nicely. Although I don't know if he'd do more trolling than shot calling. So
Yeah.
if you guys haven't seen Lemon Nation's Notebook on Twitter, you need to do that. And then they're not as bad as Team Dragonite. 0-5.
No.
Haven't won a game yet. May not win a game also.
Why is it that all the teams with badass names always do so well? Most teams that have badass names do so poorly in most esport events.
I don't know. Unicorns of Love aren't even doing that good this time around.
No, that's not a good name. They
That's a
deserve to
badass
lose.
name. That is a badass name.
No, that is a bad name. There's no ass at the end of that one. Just bad.
No ass.
There is no ass.
There is no ass. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for the news. Let's move on and find out what we've been playing. Well, what have we been? We've been spending all our money on these Steam sales. Surely we've been playing something good. I'm gonna start with Brox.
Actually, nothing that's been on the Steam sale, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, I picked up Elder Scrolls Online this week on the PS4 when it released, and that's been entertaining. It's very different. It feels like an MMO version of kind of a combo of Skyrim and Oblivion to me, which I love those games. The downside is it's an MMO version of those. So at least in starting areas earlier this week, the servers were down quite a bit.
Oh no.
And in the starting areas, there's almost nothing to kill because there's so many people there. The way they're handling this in the consoles is there's one mega server for each console flavor. And so there's like one giant server for PS4, and so it's just filled with people. And I was lucky to get 1 or 2 kills off of mobs, just in the starting areas.
And remembering how the starting areas worked, because I played this in beta for a little bit, I can see that being a cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of frustrating.
Oh, man.
What do you mean, kinda?
Yeah. And not only that, but it's also interesting some of the design choices they're making in that, you go through the expensive, with Elder Scrolls Online, they've got a very detailed character creator. And, the frustrating part to me, though, is you make this really badass looking character, and then when you're out in the game world, it's showing your PSN name, or on the Xbox, your gamer tag, not your character's name.
Oh, kind of like Diablo on the PC.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
But other than that, it's a lot of fun though. I mean, it's different. The combat feels a lot more active and fluid than WoW did. Like I said, it feels more like an Elder Scrolls game where you have to be more active in blocking and attacking and more aware of what's going on. And
Yeah,
so
that's the one thing I liked about it. But I mean, it just seems so. It seems to slog on to me.
It feels a little
I started
slower.
playing it.
I'll give you that. It does feel a little slower, especially as I'm used to. I've been playing WoW for the past 6 years, so I'm used to going to clusters of areas that have a lot of little yellow exclamation points everywhere. And
Right.
now I've got to go run around and try to find people. And it's like, hey, what's that guy doing over there? Oh, hey, cool. I'll go see what he wants. And they go over there, and he's like, bring me 6 badger noses. Shit. Okay. So
Very nice.
I've also been going back and still playing Fallout 3. Just dealt with those fucking ants. Which is a great-
Wait, what?
The fucking ants.
Oh, wow.
Have you played Fallout 3?
I have not, no.
Oh, no, okay. No, there's this great part, within the first third of the game where this kid comes up and he's like, yeah, you got to help me. My town's overrun by these things. I'm like, well, what's killing your village? Oh, they're these fucking ants. They're called that. That's what my dad called them. He says, these fucking ants are everywhere.
yeah.
And so
Very nice.
now, I mean, to this day, I mean, I originally played it years ago when it came out. To this day, I still call ants fucking ants. It's pretty,
Very
so I finally
nice.
took care of them. Now these fucking ants are a little more potent than your normal everyday fire ants in that they have flamethrowers attached to them. But still.
yeah.
But then also still playing through Dragon Age Inquisition and having a lot of fun with that. There's just a crap ton of stuff to do in that game.
Yeah, I clocked in about 180 hours before I actually finished it.
I really
wow.
need to
Yeah,
get
you're
this
way
because I've
farther
got
than I am.
so many people that play this game.
It's a lot of fun, and it even has its own version of WoW Garrison missions. I mean, you can go to your war table and send some of your minions off to go do stuff and come back a couple hours later and they have food attached to them.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. But there's so much to do in that game. But still, the dialogue can be predictable, kind of as Dan was talking about earlier. It is a BioWare game, so usually top right is your good option, bottom right is your bad option, middle right is your medium, and anything on the left side is going to be, hey, find more information about this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
So, but it's still been a lot of fun, and what I like about that is, on the PS4, I've been doing a lot of remote play with that. So, if I'm out somewhere, have some time with my Vita, I just hop on a Wi-Fi and start playing it. And the controls are admittedly pretty terrible when you're doing remote play, but it's still pretty cool to be able to do that. So,
All right. Pretty cool. Anything else?
That's it. That's my main three that I've got going.
All right. Let's go with Veg.
I've been playing a metric shit ton of Final Fantasy Online.
Is that a scientific measurement?
Oh, that's a scientific measurement because it's a ton, but it's full of shit.
And since it's metric, it's a little more than an imperial ton.
Yes.
So.
A little. Got it. All right.
So I've been playing the crap out of it. It's been so much fun. I'm actually almost at cap level for it, which took me about, I think, a week and a half to do. But this is coming from me, who power levels through almost any game that you can think of. So, that's pretty good timing for me.
Mm-hmm.
The story, I've been enjoying the living crap out of the story, as well as the class I'm playing. I didn't realize that I was a tank class until someone told me so. I was like, oh, okay.
It could be any class you want, depending on the weapon you hold.
Yeah, but I started off as a Marauder. I'm enjoying it because it has a giant axe and you get the smack thing. They're essentially like Death Knights. You gain you health tank stuff and avoidance. So it's been a lot of fun doing that.
Are you any good at Triple Triad?
What the hell is that?
Triple Triad.
The card game.
Triad's awesome.
No, I'm not.
Oh, he's no good. Okay.
I haven't played it too much, to be honest. I've just been grinding out the main storyline as well as fates and dungeons nonstop.
Yeah, Sully's kind of tasked me with trying to understand that game, sort of.
It's not that hard to understand. Just kill shit. That's all you do.
Veg?
What?
She's asking this point. But yeah. Anything else?
I've also been playing a good bit of Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Yeah. I picked that up a couple weeks ago. I think I told you that was on sale for like $7 for not only just the game, but its expansion. Or not expansion, but DLC.
Yeah, it still is.
It's still, damn.
It's still on sale 90%.
Good God. But it's a lot of fun. If you like it's pretty good in medieval warfare. It's hilarious because you can pretty much decapitate anyone with anything. You're good enough.
Veg loves murder.
Murder, murder, murder.
Murder, murder.
Yes, my precious.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just spamming the living crap out of Final Fantasy.
There you go. All right. Dan, did you find out how close you are?
I need 7,380 gold.
So you're at 992K.
Yes, I am.
Do you want me to give you that much?
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, if I still have my account open, I'd log in and just send that over to you.
I feel like I should earn it to close it out. I think I'm about to be at 5K. I think I'm gonna make some guy tarot, so I should be
I'm
able
just
to.
surprised you haven't been banned yet because apparently, for quote unquote gold hacking.
No.
That's not hacking.
It's a legitimate business.
No.
Oh,
In other news,
businessman.
I am 3% to the cap. I've passed 30,000. Anyway, what else have you been giving a go at this week?
Well, I'm trying to finish this out so that I can let my subscription lapse, and not feel like I've left something undone. I may wait a couple weeks and try out the new patch, but I tried raiding on Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday with Show, and it did not go well.
Oh, really? What were they doing?
They were on.
Were they doing heroic?
No, they were on like the pirate wench ladies. I don't remember what they're called.
The Iron Maiden.
The Iron Maidens. Those are hard.
Yeah.
That's not an easy fight.
we got down to like 20%, and everyone got schmacked.
Yeah, we've been in single digits in our guild. We never downed him. We went to heroic shortly thereafter. But, rough fight.
So doing them, still playing Witcher 2, partway through Chapter 2. Really like it. I'm probably going to play 3. I'm going to wait until the next sale, because right now it's probably the most it'll be down is probably about 20%. I'm going to wait for it to be on sale a little bit more. And I think I might buy the South Park game when it's on daily deal.
That game is so
That
good.
game is amazing.
And play that. So
Essentially, with that game, you're basically playing an episode of South Park. It's awesome.
there's a dude sitting in Shrine right now that's tries to play Mario.
Oh,
It's awesome.
When did Dan inherit Shosan's internet?
Yeah, all right.
What?
You're inheriting Shosan's internet.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I
In and out.
laggy?
Show may not be here, but his spirit goes on.
No one wants that spirit. Can we get an exorcist in the house?
But his heart will go on as well.
Oh God.
I'm done.
So
Good
am I.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, goodbye horses. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
That's about it. All right. So, I'm actually gonna pull up. I've been saying I've been playing the original Descent, but lately I've been playing a bit of Descent 3 too. There's one pilot that's really been trying to get people to play, and since I like the game, I'm more than happy to oblige.
So wait. Are you saying that you're playing 3 or 2?
3,
Oh, okay.
comma, TOO. Veg, you little bitch. Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, Descent 3, it plays horribly on my computer. I have to run it in administrator mode, hope that the fonts display correctly, hope that when I load into the game that the textures aren't completely bright white, and then when I'm playing, I gotta hope it doesn't crash, and that my keyboard remains functional. Because there'll be times when it just locks up and I have to unplug it and plug it back in. There are problems with that game on Windows 8. I'm actually thinking of trying to run it in a VM. See if that helps. I don't know if that'll work, but I'd be willing to give it a try just for some stability to get it on XP. So
I need to check that out on which release is it? Is it through the GOG release or is it a different one?
it is the original CDs.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I'll have to give it a try on Windows 10 and see if it's any better on 10.
absolutely.
I am not getting 10 until like a year later.
10 has actually been really stable for me. I've been surprised with it. Most part.
My concern is that if I do 10, I assume that it like overrides your 7 key. So like if I don't like it, I probably can't go back to 7.
You would have to. I think you have to deactivate the key, or I don't even think you need to do that. I think you can just go back to 7, and
Yeah,
if it blocks you, because I've had Windows block me in registration. All you gotta do is call Redmond and say, "Hey, I'm reinstalling on the same computer I had
that's
it
true.
before." They're like, "Okay, here's your key."
Yeah.
So, they're good about that. So I'm not. I wouldn't be concerned. Don't take that as a reason not to upgrade. So, but
My problem is I lost my key.
nice job. So, World of Warcraft, our guild has been. I'm not going to say we've regressed too much because we did get 7 bosses down this past week, including our second ever kill of Orgorger, and that's as far as we've gotten in there. We've only ever killed 7 bosses on normal. But we didn't do heroic last week. We're trying to get people geared up to do heroic, and we're going to try to resume that this week. So. Hopefully they'll be back. I mean, it looks like we kind of merged with another guild, so we've had a lot of people on. So, good stuff there. And then Crypt of the Necrodancer. So, a little story here. This morning, like I mentioned earlier, that my power went out. Well, and it woke me up after like only 4 hours of sleep. So I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. So I get up, get dressed, was ready to go out and complain, and the power went out. So I was like, it had been all hours, so I set up the internet, make sure everything was up, and sat down. Didn't want to go to bed. nap a little later in the day, like around noon or so, and I started up Crypt of the Necrodancer. Started playing Bard, which is he's the character. Normally in Crypt of the Necrodancer you have to move to the beat, but Bard makes it more like NetHack, where you can move at your own pace, and the enemies move at the same pace as you. So that's the one I've been playing, and they have a mode called Deathless, where you have to get so many wins in a row. You just keep going until you die. And Penth, I think you tuned in for that for a little bit.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit.
Well, that ended up going to a streak of 21 games after 7 hours of gameplay.
Good God.
It is the number 7 run on the leaderboards.
Wow.
So yeah, 21. The record is 39, which isn't. When you think about it, if you can get to 21, surely you can get to 40, right?
Yeah.
So I was quite pleased with that. I've actually figured out how to get it to play on the Xbox One controller. So that
must make it easier.
It does make it easier, but at the same time, since I'm not used to holding a controller, my left hand's kind of fucked today. So
wow.
Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, Crypt of the Necrodancer, definitely check that out. Check out their soundtracks. Check out everything. Also been playing, of course, last Sunday, League of Legends. For some reason, I went 1 and 2 again.
Yeah, it's been weird lately. I told you, keep telling you, stop playing on Sundays. That's when all the morons play. But no, you have to play on Sunday for some fucking reason.
It's the only day I have to play, really. So, but yeah, 1 and 2. I played all Lux that day, didn't I?
Lux. No, you played Morgana once, I think.
Oh, I played Morgana on the win, right?
Yeah, and I played Mundo because Mundo does what he fucking pleases.
Yeah, yes, he does. And then that one Lux game started off really good. I had 2 kills within like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, then bot and jungle didn't do anything, and bot fed hard, and then I couldn't.
Yeah, in that one game we had this jungle who was just farming.
Yeah, the entire game I couldn't do anything because I was getting my ass.
Uh-oh, Veg got censored. Veg
Did I? Oh.
You got muted again. That's. So.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it was frustrating to say the least.
Yeah, we'll be doing some more tomorrow. But yeah, that's just about does it for gaming. Unless someone's got something else, we're gonna move on. Let's start up the 6 Gaming Roundtable. So, 6 Gaming Roundtable. We have a topic that we bring forth for discussion every week, and we'll chat about it a bit. And here's a question. Have you quit WoW, and why? And what have you replaced it with? And Veg, you started this one, so I'm going to have you answer this first.
Well, it also says, so other people can discuss it, is, why do you think others quit WoW too?
Uh-huh.
Just for the simple fact, I know it's been around for... I'm muting myself, aren't I?
Nope, you're good.
No,
okay. Wow, I was holding down the control key the entire time because I'm so used to that. So... Yeah, fail on my end. But, no, the reason that I quit, and I think a lot of people quit, is just a lot of the content patches anymore I don't consider content patches. The last patch was a selfie patch that I dubbed it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah. There was no real content in it. They could have hot patched that crap in. It would have taken don't release it as an official content patch unless you put no content in it other than, stuff that we could just easily, get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it bugs me, and that bugs me a lot, just for the simple fact that, I don't know if Blizzard's just trying to rush out stuff now compared to what they used to do, which was, you didn't see a patch for months, and when you did, it was huge.
Yeah.
What they're actually doing now, because it looked like they were trying to appease an audience that really didn't want to be appeased by something like that, like a selfie stick. Did you want one? No, probably not. And if you did, you're a sad individual.
Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of agree. I've seen a lot of people quit over the fact that the content's been getting thin. But I have to go back to saying that the original 6.0 patch was one of the best expansions that we've had.
Oh, yeah. and I definitely agree, but they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball hard
They
Yeah,
did.
To me, it felt like there was a good rush of new content. It was all exciting. And then by the time you finish up to the storyline, at least, of Warlords of Draenor, and especially if you play through Heimal, you realize, okay, well, now at this point, most of the warlords are dead or missing or whatnot.
Yep.
There's not much else to do except sit around in my garrison.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot else to do at this point.
Yeah, like if you look at the picture of like the warlords on the all the big orc warlords, you kill like over half of them. You kill a quarter of them during the storyline, and the other half in the first raid.
Yeah,
or
first two
the
raids.
second raid.
First 2 raids, yeah.
Yeah,
So
like I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I can see. I can see the fact that they want to kill these guys off. I mean, they're the Draenor versions of our normal timeline counterparts, I guess. So it's okay that they're killing them off. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't know. I think the story has just gone dry. I don't think the raids really told a whole lot of the story.
Yeah, and also, on my end, I mainly just did LFR this time around, and the rating just felt very uninspired. I mean, I tried it at all 3 roles, tank, DPS, and heals, and every time, towards the last couple of weeks before I let my subscription lapse, I'm kind of going, why am I doing this? Except for
Well, that's because you're an LFR.
What's that?
That's
yeah,
because you're an
it.
LFR. Looking for retards. Yes.
Pretty much
Yeah,
that's it. But I mean, still, I was like, it's not fun to me.
Playing the Throne of Thunder on LFR was still fun to me. I mean, maybe it was just me, but I thought that was a pretty good LFR raid. People tended to do well, except for dying to Gary. I don't know. It hasn't felt like that in more recent ones.
Like the normal heroic versions of the raids, I still think are pretty good. I think Hans and Franz and Orc Orger are pretty fresh.
Yeah.
The Flamebinder was a pretty good fight. I thought the Maidens is complex as hell. I like that one. The trains, those are great. Those are great fights.
Choo, motherfucker.
Do you hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability. It's the sound of your death. Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
Just
I can't help but think of that quote every time I'm in there. That's just like, it's funny as hell.
But, and I've said this for years, the only thing that's going to kill WoW is WoW itself. And it looks like WoW is starting now, because it keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. For subscriptions, they're down to how low are they down now?
7 million.
And 7 million's been what their average. After an expansion's hit, like that's where they usually average out to.
Right.
Somewhere in there, it's been very fast this time though. You look at when Warlords came out, they were up to 10.
Yeah.
So in one quarter, they lost 3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people to lose.
It is. But I think based on what I've heard about the Q&A, I haven't gone over it yet since that just happened earlier today. But from what I heard, they're acknowledging that they've made a lot of mistakes, and hopefully that means that they're going to be correcting them in the future.
Yeah, but that's the problem, though. They've had 10 years to fix their mistakes, and that's what pisses me off about that.
They haven't been making these mistakes for 10 years.
Yes, they have. And Cataclysm was a perfect example. The flying things, no, that's a new one. They royally fucked up on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but it's the mistakes of lacking content, not adding new content when they said they're going to, like new dungeons. They did the same exact thing in Mist of Pandaria. Mm-hmm. They said they're going to add even more raids than Mist of Pandaria, and they haven't. They said they're going to add even more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah, because they launched with 3 in Mists of Pandaria.
Yeah, they had Tranquil.
They had Toes, they had Moshan, they had Heart of Fear.
Yeah.
Those were the 3. And then they added 2 more. So far, we only had 1 at launch, 1 that was unlocked shortly after launch, and now the 6.2 patch is going to be another one.
Yeah,
No
and then
idea
that's
if
going
there's
to
going to be any raids past that. They've said there's going to be another patch after 6.2, but they haven't mentioned if it's going to be a content patch with raids.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
new dungeons. They haven't added new dungeons since the end of Cataclysm.
Plus, they're saying the legendary quest line is going to finish in 6.2, which
That's a
suggests to me they're going to
little
get more raid
disturbing.
content.
That is a little disturbing. That's only going to go through that third raid. That's it.
And that's what I'm saying, though. That's the problem. They're like, it's starting to feel like Call of Duty. Like they want to start releasing releasing expansions every single year, for $40. And
they're-
I don't have the time or money or patience for that.
Yeah, they're saying there's a lot of rumors out there that this is just going to be a two-tier expansion. Blizzard hasn't confirmed that, but they haven't denied it either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we still have a ways to go before this expansion plays out, but right now all signs are pointing to Tier 19 is 7.0.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons I stopped playing WoW, is that it looks like they're just getting lazy and that they're making World of Warcraft a side project compared to StarCraft 2 and Heroes of the Storm, as well as Hearthstone. Like, WoW isn't their big boy anymore. Even though it's still raking.
It's not the only milkshake in the yard, so to speak.
Yeah, and they realize that. That's why That's why I think they pushed Heroes of the Storm so fast out all of a sudden, because when the beta in January. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been an alpha forever. So.
Oh yeah. Heroes of the Storm has been announced for years. This isn't something that's brand new.
And then they're also, I'm wondering if they're trying to, and then they got the new one, Overwatch, coming out too. I don't know when that's going to be even in the alpha, but still.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've got a lot of things that they can do. And keep in mind, this isn't just Blizzard. It's Activision Blizzard. They're the same company. As much as we want to think that, Mike Morhaime is at the top of the food chain, he's not.
No, not
anymore. He still has someone to answer to. But for the most part, it looks like Activision has tried to keep their hands off of what makes Blizzard games successful.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that because it's very easy to take over another company and just say, okay, here's our management now, and you're going to play by our rules. I'm sure in a couple of ways that they do that, but it hasn't been very public. If they have. So, I mean, Blizzard's still got, as far as I'm concerned, Blizzard's still got a good rap. They've made some mistakes this expansion. I think they'll learn from them. They're a great company at learning from mistakes.
Oh, I agree, but when you make the same mistakes over and over again, you're kind of like an abused wife.
Well, you keep saying that they haven't put out a whole lot of content, but 6.1 was the most ridiculous patch that they've put out. Other content patches that they've called content patches have the right to be called content patches. 6.1, no.
No. That was just a patch.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is way different than what you're talking about. It's far worse than what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, here's hoping they don't do that again.
And, it's one of the reasons that I stopped playing WoW was because of that, and that I've done everything I possibly wanted to do in the game so far. I just don't have that, oh, wow, this is amazing. And my wife's been having the same exact problem. She goes, I only get on maybe an hour or so a day, if that, and she goes, I don't care anymore.
For me, I still enjoy raiding. I'm still going to go in there. I'm still going to raid. I think Shosan's the same way. Because that's pretty much what he's doing is raiding.
Yeah, and I think if I had the time available to go raid with an actual regular raid team instead of LFR, like I used to do back in Wrath and to an extent in Cataclysm, I'm sure I'd enjoy it a lot more as well.
Absolutely.
It's just the way, kind of as we talked about a couple weeks ago, life happens and timings of things change. And so, for me personally, I haven't been able to dedicate a couple hours a night, several times a week for raiding, which also hurts the enjoyment of the game. I mean, raiding is a big part of the end game.
Yep.
I can't do that. I'm like, why am I paying $30 a month to go play the auction house?
Yep.
and it's one of the reasons I got into Final Fantasy, because you don't have to be a hardcore raider to get the in-game content.
Yeah.
You can do, it forces you to actually watch the story, pay attention to the story. If you don't like story and you just want, rep grind or whatever, or just grind up to there, you're not going to have a fun time with it. But the story is great for it. Reading the lore for WoW. I got muted, didn't I?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah.
Fucking control key.
Hands off the keyboard.
Yeah. So I find the lore for Final Fantasy just as amazing as the Blizzard, the Blizzard universes, because they're just downright awesome as well. To compare the two is not fair, because they're both great in their own each way.
Yeah.
But why I've been turned to, not just because of Coles, but I was generally interested, not at first, but when I kept hearing about Final Fantasy, people keep talking about it, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. Why the hell not? It's, $10 when I picked it up. It's back up to 20, but I get a free 30 days for it. I was like, that's a win-win right there. So I've been playing it nonstop, and like I said, I've just been enjoying the living crap out of it. Like when I picked up WoW for the first time. I haven't had that sensation since, I would have to say, Wrath, because Cataclysm was fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's just they pretty much killed off any character, villain or character that I cared about. As soon as Arthas died, spoiler alert, by the way, you're a little late, but still, yeah. But they've been winging it ever since, and I mean Deathwing winged it. Deathwing literally came out of left fucking field.
Right.
And like I said, I think they ran out of content right there with Cataclysm.
Yeah. I've moved on to some other interests too. That's why I only play 2 nights a week, because I've got other things I've been working on, like getting back into Descent with Descent Underground coming up. The League of Legends. Trying to get into Heroes of Storm. Still can't play that, Blizzard. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Are you serious?
It reboots my computer whenever I open it. It's crazy. So, but I've got other things that I'm doing, and I'm happy doing those other things. I'm glad I'm not raiding 6 nights a week now.
Well, I've been trying to tell you not to do that for years anyway. You're like, oh, well, we got the people to do it. Like, okay, Ron.
Yeah, so it was okay with me, because I still have fun raiding. But now that I'm not running a guild, I don't feel the need to have to run it 6 days a week. So anyway.
Yeah, I think that was your OC or your micromanaging, tearing you apart with that.
No, I still micromanage the hell out of things.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, being a GM on top of it, I don't think it helped.
Right. All right. So, anything else, guys?
No, just, WoW has its faults, so do many other MMOs and companies. It's just, WoW's been around for 10 years now. The WoW universe, or the Warcraft universe, has been around for, 25, 26 now?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
It's been around since the late 80s, that's for sure, novels, not the game-wise.
Yep.
It's their prized possession, it's their baby. I know they're going to still take care of it, and I assume when WoW does end, because all good things must come to a close eventually, Warcraft 4 will come out.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that should be interesting.
Well, we'll see if that happens. All right. So I think, unless anyone's got anything else, I think we're done here.
We're done here.
That's all.
I'm Gabe Johnson, and we're done here. So, any closing statements? We'll get to Veg last. Dan, anything?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I just 8K. Hopefully I'll get it by next week.
Good luck. Richard?
Yeah, that's it, and that's all.
That's it? You guys are just letting Veg take the stage.
Pretty much. I mean, he's going to take all of it.
All right, Veg, the floor is yours.
Remember, when you spell cut, put it in right between the U and T. That's all I have to say.
What? That doesn't. It's not a joke. That's just. I don't understand.
Okay, if you weren't here for this,
You weren't here for that conversation earlier. You missed it.
Oh.
it was amazing. Yeah, our downstairs. Okay, for people who did not get that, and they will now, our 5-year-old downstairs learned that cunt was a word today, and he figured out, he put his favorite word, which is cut, but put an N between the U and T and thought it was logical to say it. Yes.
In front of.
Did you teach him that?
No, I did not teach him that.
I disagree.
It could have just harmlessly come out in a pep talk, like, hey, look, there is no I in team, but there is a U in.
Oh, that's terrible. I think we're gonna end it here, guys. We need to end this before this gets worse. For the Six Gaming Podcast, I'm Ron Clay.
I'm Veg.
And we'll see you next week. See ya, bye.
No.